We'll move on over to running backs then. And you already kind of hinted at it. You've been going big into the hero, or really the superhero running back. You take one early and you kind of load up on receivers after that. Is there guys that one, like you're really hoping to get early? Obviously Christian McCaffrey, like we get that. But is there other guys if you're waiting the second round or so? Like who are a couple of your biggest hero running backs you're most exposed to? And then who are some guys you're rounding out your roster with if you're taking that approach?
Yeah, so I drafted a bunch of Aaron Jones in the second round. Buying that dip, man. I won't say I never thought that Rodgers wasn't coming back, but it's just like what was most likely to happen was Rodgers coming back, and then you just get a massive discount on, a player that's been 80% of Alvin Kamara. So, Aaron Jones is still my guy. I don't think people are going to adjust too much. I think Adams will probably be the guy they adjust more to. Jones has always been a little undervalued, I think. He was a mid-second round pick last year. I think he'll probably end up in like the late second or early second this year when the Rodgers news finally settles. But yeah, Aaron Jones has been one of my guys. I wanted to be way more on an Ekeler, but man, the hype is just nutty on him. I mean, he's going 7, 8, 9 overall now. A lot of the times when I'm in that pick range, I'm going with Kelsey, Adams, or Hill. So Ekeler, I kind of thought he would be a second round pick, which has been unfortunate. Then from there, if I go receiver, I have a lot of teams where I've gone like Adams, Ridley, or Hill, Ridley. I love J.K. Dobbins in the third. I think he's probably the safest of that group just because of the way the Ravens have designed their offense. I mean, if he's Mark Ingram from 2019 and we get 240 carries, 1,200 yards, and 12 touchdowns, he's probably not going to absolutely smash at ADP, but he's definitely safer than Swift or Carson in that range. So I do like Dobbins. And then late, it's been tough because I love Darrell Henderson. So now I kind of feel like I'm missing a limb in the 12th round because he's an auto pick for me. I like Latavius a little. It's really just kind of a shotgun approach in that range. I like Latavius. I think Jamal Williams sets up well. His ADP really hasn't changed too much. And I like James White kind of super late just for a floor, because he's he's guaranteed to get that 50, 60, 70 targets as a floor. And then, on weeks where I've got, Dalvin Cook going for 23, I'm fine with James White scoring me 9 to 11 points and being my RB2. I'm good with that.
Every single name you brought up would be ones that I would want to highlight too, especially Aaron Jones these days. The fact that you were getting him around too. I mean, this was the running back 2 and 5. Now no Jamal Williams, who was absorbing. He didn't get a ton of targets, but he was running routes like crazy. So
I was just talking to Scott about this. We literally just talked about this yesterday. I'm like, dude, Jamal Williams, his loss is so undervalued because Williams, like you mentioned, he didn't get a lot of targets, but he played a bunch.
Exactly.
All that's going to go to Jones because AJ Dillon's a complete zero in the passing game.
100%. You got to imagine an Aaron Jones route run is significantly more value than a Jamal Williams. Right. He might have just been a decoy, a space take-up, or in that sense. But I think Aaron Jones could do a ton of damage if that just spikes even a little bit. So I love the dip you were getting there. And I'd rather have him than Ekeler. So if you're getting him in round 2 after getting a Kelsey and an Adams, that might not last too much longer. But those teams are going to be scary, whatever you were constructing early on. Love that one. James White late. I mean, with Mac Jones potentially starting right from the start. He's getting first-team reps already, they're saying, in Patriots camp. The buzz around here in New England right now is he's getting some first-team reps. That would skyrocket his value, and nobody's paying attention to that. So I love that one. And Murray as well. If this whole Michael Thomas injury ends up giving Taysom a better shot at starting, Murray was feasting out. A lot of people don't seem to be recognizing what he was doing. He was outscoring Kamara some weeks. And I don't think that's going to be the norm or what's going to happen, but he was getting a lot of work in a very ground-centric attack as they used Kamara a little bit more all over. I think that's a great play. Plus, if anything ever, God forsake, happens to Kamara, we've seen he was a 30-point-a-week type of guy. So, all those picks are fantastic suggestions. So I'm 100% with you there. I love all of them. What is up, you fantasy wolf? Thanks so much for tuning in. If you haven't already, share your thoughts in the comments, check out some more videos, and join the newest Wolfpack by subscribing below.